Good morning, guys. It's working, bringing you a quick update on Bitcoin. Hope you guys are having a wonderful morning. We're looking at Bitcoin to the US dollars, the daily chart on Bitfinex, and we can see Bitcoin right now has just wicked through the 6.8 fib. It looks like it's more than likely going to go lower, in my opinion. We barely tested, well, almost not quite tested this 6280 zone right here, guys. There should be some support right there. If 6280 does break down, we're going to be hoping for that 6100 to hold, but I seriously doubt 6100 is going to hold, guys. I think if 6100 breaks down, we're very likely possibly finding support at 6000, more than likely coming down to 5900 to 5800, somewhere in this zone down here, this demand zone down here, and that's going to be the real test if Bitcoin can hold that zone. If it doesn't, clearly, guys, we're going to, and if we create lower lows, I don't think it's going to be a slight lower low. I do think it's going to be down, at least down to this support down here between 5500 or 5450, somewhere thereabouts, at least. Possibly lower. I'm not saying it is, just saying that's a real possibility. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that. If we go over here and we look at the big picture, guys, some people are saying, oh, this may not be the top. This may just be a retrace. I highly doubt that, guys. I do think that the top is in, and if it is, every time the top has been in, we've come down, almost every time, come down to test that $6,000 level, somewhere thereabouts. Why do I say that? Well, I mean, obviously it's staying in line with this descending resistance line here, but if I also check all of the last three priors, assuming that this is a top, starting with this one here. If I go swing high, swing low, what do we have? We have a perfect hit just inside the golden pocket, which is between the 618 and the 65. I mean, couldn't be any more perfect. Okay, if we look at this peak here up at 8,500, I go swing high, swing low. What do I have? Get right on there. Swing high. Whoop, that's not where I wanted it. Sorry, guys. Swing high right here, swing low. What do we have? Once again, a perfect hit. Again, couldn't be any more perfect. Right up in the golden pocket there between the 618 and the 65. Couldn't be any more perfect. Okay, what do we have with this last one here? We go swing high, swing low. Get right on there. And I kind of blow it up here so you guys can get a little better view. And you can see, what do we have there? We have, again, a perfect hit. I got to kind of zoom over here a little bit. Perfect hit right off the 618 fib level. And remember, this last high here, guys, it's not necessarily off that pivot high where algos are taking this this fib off of. We could see for about a week straight, we kind of moved back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then broke down. So the algos are going to be picking their swing high from where this thing broke down after a week of moving back and forth. So that's going to be right here. So yes, I know that technically it's not that swing high from over here, but from algos purposes, it is. They're taking their pivot from right here. And again, you can see that's just a perfect hit right inside the golden pocket. So yes, I do think that the top is in. I don't think that's in question. The only question is whether or not we're going to come down and test that 6,000 to 5,800 range. And of course, I think the answer is yes, because we've done it every single time in the past. Doesn't mean we have to. Now, I know past performance is not indicative of what's going to happen in the future. That's absolutely 100% true. However, probability tells me that we are just looking at every single signal that we have, guys. Just how bearish this was. I mean, every single trend that we've had, it's come down to test that. I do have to believe it's going to do it again. We're showing no sign of reversing course here at all. It's just kind of sitting here stagnant, all very bearish, no reversals. So again, as a trader, I have to believe that it is going to come back down here and test at least 6,000, possibly below that. I'm not entering any positions right now. I'm going to wait until structure develops in this market, and at that point, I'll be making a decision on what to do. If we come out here, we look at our indicators, we can see that the MACD just crossed over into bearish territory once again, giving us bad indication, or giving us a bearish outlook. We can see that the RSI is not quite oversold yet. I have to believe that this daily RSI has got to at least touch oversold before we have in fact reached the bottom. Doesn't mean it has to. Again, none of this means that it has to. Just probability-wise, guys, tells me that more than likely this thing's going to get oversold before we start trending back up again. Now, we could trend sideways. That's a real possibility. We'll have to see how that ends up working out, guys. That's that is, again, we've been trending down so many days now that yes, you would expect a small bounce, some consolidation before it trends lower. But it doesn't mean that has to happen. We come over here and we check our long positions here. In the daily, longs are remaining stagnant, guys, not moving at all. We check our shorts. Shorts are sitting here very close to all-time highs, almost reaching all-time highs. The problem with these shorts is normally I would tell you that market makers are going to want to liquidate these shorts. The problem is where these guys enter these positions, these short positions, excuse me, is all the way up here, guys, all the way up here at this prior high. That's where everyone was entering. So to liquidate the shorts, they're going to have to, market makers are going to have to do one hell of a short squeeze to get those up there. You know, where are they more than likely putting their stops if they entered right up here near the high? And remember, shorts were already stacked up here. So a lot of these short positions were built up even before this. But where are they putting their stop losses if you in fact enter the short position right here? And market makers are getting smart, which means they're putting their stop losses a little bit higher, knowing that these stop hunts continue to happen. So if I'm a market maker, I'm looking up here, possibly this resistance level up here, maybe even this prior wick just outside of this, support zone. Yes, no, that's correct. Resistance. This wick right here, so possibly sitting at about 75.50, somewhere thereabouts. So they would have to, the market makers are going to have to run this thing up all the way to at least 7,500 to start taking up, to even start taking out these short positions. So is that a possibility? Yeah, it's a possibility. Is it a probability? I'm not counting it out, but I think we're going to see lower lows before that starts happening. You're going to start to see. I think you're going to start to know when we get bottom is when short positions at least have some kind of a correction. Some people taking profits. Then longs slowly start to rise, nothing major, but just very slowly. At that point, you might start suspecting that a bottom might be in. But for right now, guys, all things are pointing bear, at least in the short term. We come over here and we look at our moving averages. We can see on the daily, guys, daily is dropping. We still have some room to drop to the bottom of these Bollinger Bands here. We're well below all of our the 821.55 day moving average and the 50 and the 200 day, the 821 and 55 day EMA, and then the 50 and the 200 day moving average. We're well below all of those guys. So just again, bearish all around. So if I'm staying out of this market, I would not be entering any trades in my position. Whoop, that's EOS. There we go. Get you back on Bitcoin. I'm not entering any trades in this market, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and just sit on the sidelines, sit and wait. Possibly a couple scalps here and there, but nothing significant at all. I do think in the short term we may come up, break above this 6540. That's a possibility here. Come back up one more time, create possibly one green candle here before it just ends up collapsing. Again, I think that's a possibility. Doesn't mean that's going to happen. Certainly, I'm not going to play that trade at all. I do think this 6280 is going to be very telling. And if we do break 6280, I think at that point we're going to test the low, and we're going to know very quickly whether or not we're going much lower or whether we're going to get that strong bounce like we got back here off that low. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it there. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comments section below. And as always, guys, I certainly would appreciate an upvote or a re-steam or a like, depending on where you're viewing this. Until next time, guys, please trade safe, take care of yourselves. This is Working, signing out.